welcome to the final hour of our E3 2012 live coverage from the center of the PlayStation universe, the PlayStation booth here at E3. This is actually my last interview, and I'm going to end it big with my good friend Matt Teager, game director of Transformers Fall of Cybertron. Man, how does it feel?
It feels awesome. And
nice and close.
I love that that you saved the best for last, because we're so thrilled to be showing.
Hell yeah, man.
So thrilled to be showing off Transformers. It's a great Transformers game, but beyond that, it's an amazing game.
Right on. And that's what's important, an amazing game with an amazing franchise. So today we're going to see two separate sections.
Yeah.
Tell us what we're going to see before we flip over to the gameplay. So
we got two things lined up for you. Optimus Prime, everybody loves the leader of the Autobots, and what you're going to see in this
one... Except for this guy, same.
Well, what you're going to see in this one, though, is how big these spaces are, how you can really start to choose how you want to play. And Cybertron is this amazing place that has decades of history that we've really been able to bring to life. It's a big, cool space. The environment is epic in scale, but that's not the only big thing, because we've also got Metroplex,
nice.
A city-sized Transformer.
Oh, that's so cool.
And there is no way to make the Optimus Prime seem awesome.
Right on.
But controlling a city-sized Transformer, it's fantastic. I cannot wait to show it.
Let's actually check it out.
Let's do it.
That's why we're doing these live demos. This is so exciting.
Yeah. All right.
So let's see what we got.
So as you can see, the space is huge. Cybertron is enormous, and there he is, man. Look at him. He's a colossus.
He's just taking a beating.
And what you can do, just like all the characters in the game, is everybody's got a special ability. It's all on the R2 button, where because we have so many characters types, so many vehicles, we don't want to kind of mess with the controls all the time. We need it really consistent. So you get that one button as your kind of special ability button.
Right on.
In the case of Optimus, it's calling in artillery strikes with Metroplex in this case, or rather
cool.
commanding him to do stuff. And sometimes he's going to bring in the artillery. Other times he might even step on the battlefield, do really interesting things.
What?
Now, in a space like this, you see how wide open it is, right? What's great about this game is every time we have people play it, they play it differently. Do you love your truck and you just want to be kind of using your truck all the time? Go ahead, man. I'm not going to stop you. And if you want to be robot and do that, you go right ahead. You know, we really, now you played War, right?
Yes, hell yeah.
So, you know, this is a great evolution of that game. We really have pushed it from a graphical point of view, from a space point of view. I think we learned a lot about what gamers expect and want out of a Transformers level design. When you really think about it, there weren't a lot of parallels for us. We didn't have other games to look to. Iron Man, maybe?
Maybe,
right?
Yeah.
So we really felt like we were kind of breaking new ground with War, and with this one, we feel like we've just honed our craft as artists to make great levels.
Essentially, it's a huge step. It's quite the evolution. Something I got to ask you, because I remember asking you this back when we first met, back when I was in my Destructor days. How do you just imagine the world of Cybertron? We've really never seen Cybertron like this before. How do you build the world of Cybertron?
I'm not going to tell you that's easy, right? You know, the fan
not.
expectations are huge. I think, you know, the first place we start is we feel very responsible to them to really do it right. So, but at the same time, you know, we focus on gameplay core principles, right? It's got to play great, not just look great. So we make our gameplay spaces, we stay low res as long as possible. And what we're doing is we just let people play over and over and over again, because everybody, as I said, plays different.
Right.
At the same time, from a story point of view, I think the most interesting and successful environments are ones that have kind of layers of history. You know, this is kind of the current age of Transformers, but in our heads, at least, there's kind of a former glory age and an age before that, and you know what I mean? And that kind of creates a lot of depth and history to the world.
It's going to be exciting to work on such an amazing franchise that's been around forever, to bring it to a new generation of Transformers fans.
Exciting and scary, right? You know, I mean, with so much build-up to what this should be, like I said, it is a little scary.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, we've got all these new fans that have come into the universe through Michael Bay films, right?
Yep, that's me.
And you know what? I think they did a great job of kind of creating a whole new cadre of Transformers fans. Right. And I think this is doing a great job of saying, oh, well, what was their backstory like? What was their planet like? And people are going in and having a great time. And at the same time, remember, everything's, as I said earlier, all has to be grounded on, it's just a great game. If you strip Transformers out of this, it's still got to be fun.
Yeah, you're right. It's something we also talked about years ago when I first saw War for Cybertron, was the fact that you are a legitimate Transformers fan.
I'm kind of a nerd.
You're kind of a nerd. It's good to have a nerd behind a game like this. You know, again, I know we're actually going to probably chew up another section once he's wrapped up here. what are we seeing here? Who's that guy?
So this is one of our AIs called the Marauder.
Right on.
And we're kind of hopped into kind of a middle section of the level where you've been playing as Optimus Prime. The context is, as the Autobots are backed into a corner, they have one small area left. They are building a ship with which they can leave Cybertron in self-exile. The Decepticon army is just knocking at the front door. They're going to take them all down. And
As
Optimus,
they should be.
Yeah. Well, I know you're a big Decepticon.
Yes.
I will show you Decepticons after this.
I know,
Bear
that's what I'm
with me.
like itchy for it.
So, and what Optimus does is he does one last-ditch effort. He kind of uses this ancient power he has, he doesn't fully understand, to unlock the last defense they have.
Wow.
Turns out it's Metroplex. And what we're seeing right now is how that tide of battle is turning. When you've got the Colossus on your side, you're rechanging the Autobot history.
How do you hide something like Metroplex in plain sight like that?
Well, he's a city,
that's right.
So he's a city that turns into a robot. So it's just a blast.
That's really, really cool.
I think what we'll see is as he charges up the stairs, we'll also maybe see some of the other weapons. So we've got the traditional stuff like rocket launchers and heavy missiles and stuff like that. But the great thing about being so sci-fi is we can do things like lightning guns and Tron disc guns and plasma cannons, all that kind of stuff. So as he makes his way up here, what we'll do is we'll take care of the last few guys, head into what we call the Teletrans store, where you can go and buy and upgrade weapons throughout the game. You find these blueprints, you spend Energon currency, and what you're doing is really, frankly, investing.
There's Energon currency.
Absolutely, right? You can
like there's a Cybertron quickie mart.
That's right. That's right. Well, we didn't have that anymore, and it was really missing to have that RPG element where you can kind of engage with the world. And we, of course, with all things themed at Cybertron. So if you're a big Transformers fan, Teletran, that means something to you. That was the computer from the Ark. And so here's the store right now. You see them all over the world.
Very cool.
And we'll go in. You've got primary weapons and heavy weapons.
Right.
There's a whole host of them. We'll just pick a couple right now.
Cool.
You've also got tech that you can take in, like a turret that'll float with you, a barrier you can throw down. And then, well, here you go. So here's that Tron disc gun, right? You're going to cut guys in half, bounce them off walls.
Bounce around. That's really cool.
And with those upgrades, I think what he's going to show
I
you
love
is
that effect. That's so cool.
When you see some of the fully upgraded stuff, it will, they'll home after they hit a bounce. And so in the beginnings, you've got to be really careful. But as you upgrade and buy into it, you now have these homing rockets, or homing discs, which is super fun. Well, and then the lightning gun here, great for when the guy's in cover, because it'll bounce around stuff.
Yep. Well, I got to ask you, how much creative freedom do you guys have when it comes to Transformers? Because Optimus Prime has changed a lot, and he looks pretty badass. So how much creative freedom do you have?
We have a surprising amount when it comes to a license. And that is founded on, a lot of goodwill with that. Well, here he comes. Look at him.
Oh, geez. That's sexy. That's so
awesome.
cool.
Awesome.
Now, how do you script? Is that scripted? What's going on there?
Yeah, it's all scripted and laid out because we want to make sure that this appears really great. What we're going to do now is hop into that next section that I know you're waiting for, because it's Decepticon.
Oh, yes. It is my favorite Decepticon.
So next up is Starscream.
I love him.
Starscream is great, right? He's a robot, he's a jet, and he's a backstabbing, conniving, treacherous guy, right?
He's Sith Lord, he's evil, he's so fun to root for. I love him.
I really enjoyed him as a character from a story point of view.
Absolutely.
And so what we've done is he gets quite a bit of screen time. You personally are going to really enjoy that. He gets a lot of time.
Very cool. If I were any Transformer, it'd be Starscream.
Now this area in particular, Optimus you can play however you want. This one really shows that off. So you can fly, obviously. There are platforms that you can go into this big space.
Right on.
Starscream's ability is turn invisible. So if you want to grab a sniper rifle, fly to the far corner, cloak, snipe guys, go right ahead. But you take the same tactic, but use a shotgun. Now I'm going to fly in the middle,
that's all
blast some dudes,
I'm a shotty.
Transform, turn invisible, and fly out. You can play it any way that you want to.
Really
it's
cool.
awesome.
I guess it's a good time to talk about multiplayer. How has multiplayer advanced and how has co-op advanced?
Well, that's a great question because what we did, one of the things we did really well on was multiplayer and escalation mode. And we don't want to break what's already working. But there were some elements that needed some refinement. So in the competitive MP, it's largely what you saw before. Very balanced teamwork. Oh, there you go. Here's your boy.
Oh, there he is.
So his stealth kills are dead packs, right?
That's super cool.
In competitive MP, we pretty much evolved forward. But the one area that we did not meet fan expectations, in my opinion, was character customization. And we have
I hear everyone's really excited about that.
We turned it to 11, man. It is so awesome.
That's so
the
cool.
way it works is everybody's composed of parts. Head, chest, upper arms, lower arms, legs, wings, wheels, tank barrels. And so you can mash all these pieces together. There's millions of combinations. It is so much fun.
Wow.
You can spend 10 hours just in the menus.
Yeah, dude, I'm the kind of guy that will spend hours customizing my character before I jump into any sort of RPG or any sort of multiplayer.
So what we're going to do is we're going to pick up a couple different weapons now.
Do it.
Chaos Rift Combustor and an SMG.
All right.
And the Chaos Rift is great because it's a lob which you can detonate to kind of shatter that grenade into multiple grenades.
Right
then.
on.
So you can see how that works.
God, this is beautiful and vast. That's so awesome.
And really, it's your choice as you see this space.
I love his colors. I love the fact that the Decepticon logo is in purple or like a hottish pink. Yeah. That's so cool.
So these is a series of platforms. We're just showing you one way to play the space. If you want to kill a couple guys, jump off the ledge, fall 100 feet, fly to the other side underneath it, because they can't find you, come up on the other side, everybody's turned backwards. It's just a blast.
Well, something I did notice, there is a lot of big, bright colors, which makes, there's a lot of purples in Cybertron. Talk about some challenges when it comes to making such a robotic city look unique and different, no matter where you are.
When we did War, one of the kind of criticisms was the environments got repetitive after a while. You had, kind of seen that. Part of that was we had a very muted color scheme.
Yeah.
And the other part was it's an all metal world.
Exactly.
Most games have 5% metal in their worlds, they can do a lot. So we spent a huge amount of time on textures, specularity for metals, as well as, we got to bring some more color into this so that you can kind of, all the spaces can feel different. I mean, this kind of purplish tone, so very different than Optimus.
I was going to say,
that's important. That's real important.
You can tell they're Decepticons because they have a fascist sense. I love them. So anything else that you want to call out before we wrap up the session?
I didn't mention Escalation, which I'm
that's
super pumped for.
That's right.
So that's the co-op mode.
Yep.
4-player, online co-op mode, super fun. It is so much tighter than we ever had in War. The way it works is everybody's got a job. So there's the healer, there's the character that has the big shield that can draw aggro, the guy who can drop ammo for everyone, and the one who has a turret. And you know what, if you don't do your job, team dies.
Yep.
It's a party wipe.
Right
It's super fun.
Cool, man. Dude, I love the fact that you're so excited, so full of energy when it comes to Transformers. It looks fantastic. It is always a pleasure to talk to you.
You too,
Thank you so much for your time. You're my last interview. Thank you. It is an honor.
And Best. You forgot and Best.
And Best. High five, man.
All right.
Coming up around 4:30, Pulse Live Day 3 highlights with Christina Lee and a cast of thousands when we conclude our E3 2012 coverage.